Well, let's start this off with a big deep breath. I may be wearing a Knicks shirt, but I'm strongly considering being a fan of a different team. No, I'm not shocked. No, I'm not surprised. But the Knicks are now rivaling the Mets as the worst franchise, not just in New York, but in all of sports. Again, I shouldn't be surprised, but the Knicks are a joke. They're a laughingstock. There's really not much positive that can be said about them. Now, I was going to take the positive approach, try to see, the bright side of things. And I was doing that. As you know, yesterday, free agency began, legal tampering period for the NBA. I kept telling you all week, it's like Christmas morning. Well, it's like Christmas morning if your parents have $12 in the bank and you're getting a big lump of coal for Christmas in your stocking. That's what it's like to be a Knicks fan. Today, July 1st, 6:17 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm Dave Ettinger, your very angry, irritated, agitated host of the DaveTalksSports podcast. Good morning, everyone. Yeah. So I'm going to start with my team, if you haven't noticed, the New York Knicks. And then I'll speak on everything else and everybody else and all the other signings and all the other moves and all the other things that have been going on over the last 12 hours, just over 12 hours, because free agency period, again, got tipped off, if you will, for the NBA just over 12 hours ago. And all of the major free agents have shown their cards and shown us where they're going to go, except for Kawhi Leonard. That's pretty fitting, pretty appropriate. Kawhi Leonard has seemed like a different type of dude, if you will. He doesn't seem to give a rat's ass what anybody else is doing. He's just doing what he wants to do. And good for him. He announced before the free agency period started that he's not even going to meet with the Clippers until July 2nd, which is tomorrow. He's going to meet with the Lakers, and he'll give the Raptors, because that's the team he's currently on, technically, the last word. Now, I don't think he's going to the Clippers. I think it's really between the Lakers. If he wants to be second or third fiddle, maybe he'll be the guy, because LeBron is going to slowly decline at some point, and Anthony Davis, while he's great, is always hurt. So maybe he'll join that big three, making him one of the best big threes we've ever seen in the history of the NBA. Or maybe he'll just stay in Toronto and take another run at the East and another run at a championship. Well, we'll see. But my New York Knicks, all we heard all off season, they finally cleared all this cap space. And the Porzingis trade, it cleared enough space for 2 max contracts. Not 1, but 2. All right? And I'll admit, I was one of these idiots who semi-bought in. Now, admittedly, while I did go out on a limb and predict that Kawhi Leonard was going to come here to New York and play for the Knicks, clearly going to be wrong about that. But I did say there's a big possibility that the Knicks are going to swing and miss on everybody. And that's virtually what they've done. Now, again, the first player that the Knicks signed today, or yesterday, was Julius Randle. 3 years, $63 million, $21 million per. All right, 24 going on 25. He's a nice power forward, had a really nice year last year, 21.5 points, almost 10 rebounds. really a really nice young player. So the fact that you didn't have to max him out and you didn't have to give him all 4 years, there's some conflicting reports. We're still trying to figure out whether that third year is a team option or not. I've heard reputable people in the business report it both ways, so I'm not 100% sure yet. I don't mind it either way. So when we were still in the 6 p.m. hour yesterday and all these big things were coming down, of course, you know the biggest stories of the day. Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving teaming up to come to Brooklyn and play for the Nets. They've also brought along DeAndre Jordan, who's not the same DeAndre Jordan that we saw 5 years ago, but he's a nice piece to add to Jared Allen, Karis LeVert, Spencer Dinwiddie. Nets are going to be really good once Kevin Durant is healthy. But those were the stories. Is Kevin Durant going to play for the Knicks? Is Kyrie Irving going to play for the Knicks? They want to be in New York. They want to play together. So it's the Knicks and the Nets. Well, the Knicks, well, they're the Mecca. They're the Garden. They're the place to be, the place to play, the blah, 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 blah. Spare me. They're playing second fiddle to the Nets in, quote-unquote, their own city. Again, let's take a deep breath. When the Julius Randle signing happened, I didn't actually hate it, and I still don't hate it. I don't. But it's all the other ways that they've spent their money, their salary cap space. It's 2 years, $20 million for Taj Gibson? I mean, give me a freaking break. All right, so you're going to see a common theme and a common thread in these signings. They're all power forwards. It's ridiculous. You signed Julius Randle, Bobby Portis, and Taj Gibson at first. All power forwards. Then you bring in Reggie Bullock. All right, I don't mind Reggie Bullock if he's that extra piece you're adding to two real good stars, and you're rounding out a roster, a real roster, because he's a 3-and-D guy. That's what you need to fill out a roster. Every team needs a guy like Reggie Bullock. But not when he's going to be potentially your third best player, fourth best player. He needs to be your sixth or seventh best player, rotational guy. Give me a break. Bobby Portis. All right. Another young, decent power forward, but again, another power forward. You got Mitchell Robinson playing the center. Portis last year played power forward and center, so they're going to compete for playing time. Julius Randle obviously going to start and play all minutes available at the power forward position. What do you do with Taj Gibson? He's a rotational guy, a bench guy. He's in his mid-30s. All right. We also have Kevin Knox, who you just drafted, and his best position is a stretch 4. That's also power forward. So how the hell are you going to fit all these guys on the court at the same time? It just doesn't work. So these are the signings that the Knicks come up with when all we're hearing about is, they cleared 2 max spots for 2 real superstars. The Knicks are finally building and fixing the culture and doing it the right way. No, they're not. Nobody wants to play here. Nobody wants to play on their James Dolan. And let me tell you something. Come here. Come closer. You know who's been here for almost all of this crap? Steve Mills. They're now president. This guy's got to go. He's got to go because he's Dolan's right-hand man. He loves this guy. And this guy has no freaking clue what he's doing. You want a guy who knows what he's doing? Hire me. Hire me. I'll do a much better job than Steve Mills. I guarantee you that. So the Knicks are an absolute joke. Again, I was holding out hope. I said, okay, Julius Randle. Again, I still like Julius Randle. It's not his fault. I liked it when they signed him. But when they signed him, I said, well, maybe there's a chance that somebody else real's coming here, or they're going to sign some 1-year deals. And they're going to roll some of that money over to next year. But no. What are we, pushing the potential free agent market off 2 years now instead of 1. I wish people could learn how to drive. Sorry, I'm angry today. You should be signing 1-year deals. Try to give DeMarcus Cousins $20 million to come here for 1 year. Push that salary off 1 year, because you could be taking shots at free agents every year, not in 2 years. Because all these guys are signed for now 2 years. All that money being spent. So you're giving up on 2 years of free agency today. I mean, it's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. And you know what people are going to do? They're going to feed you the bill of goods that Giannis is coming here, that Paul George is coming here, LeBron's coming here. All these guys are coming here because they're all free agents in 2021. Not happening. I've been hearing this crap forever. Knicks haven't been relevant in 20 years. I guess maybe instead of killing the guy, we should give Carmelo Anthony a little bit of credit for re-signing his extension here instead of forcing his way out of town. Maybe he just cared about the money. I can't get inside of the guy's head. I'm not going to count his money. But that was the move that he made. So maybe we should give him a little bit of credit for being willing to take on the media, the garden, that weight on your shoulders. Maybe, just maybe. Now, if people kill him, we should give him just an ounce of credit. Maybe. Because I've had this argument and had this conversation with a lot of people. I pose this question to anybody. I pose it to you right here on the Dave Talk Sports podcast, episode number 6. He's an angry Dave Talk Sports today. But of course, you could find my podcast on my YouTube channel named Dave Talk Sports. You can find me on Twitter at Dave Ettinger 2. You can find me on Facebook. Well, sorry, driving home, you join me on my commute, trying not to run people over on the city. Running people over in the city, that's what I'm trying to do at the moment, and get myself home safely. You can find me, where else are you finding me? Dave Talk Sports Facebook page, and all those awesome places, as well as my website, of course, DaveTalkSports.com. I've been having this conversation with people. Who's the best free agent? Now, Melo was an extension. All right, fine. You want to count him? Fine. But outside of that, who's the best strictly free agent signing that the Knicks have had in the last 20 years? The answer is Amari Stoudemire. You got a year, maybe a year and a half worth of basketball out of that guy, and then he broke down like everybody knew he was going to break down. So nobody wants to come here. Nobody. And I'm sorry. I know people are tired of this narrative, but this team will not succeed unless they just knock it out of the park with every single draft pick that they have. Unless Knox and Robinson and RJ Barrett all turn into superstars just like the Warriors, there is no way that this team is going to succeed because no free agents want to come here while James Dolan is still the owner of the Knicks. That's what it is. I got trucks stopping at green lights. What is going on today? Is it a full moon? Is it going to be a full moon tonight? I don't know what's happening here today. But thank God I'm paying attention to the road and talking to you guys at the same time. Nobody wants to play here. No one wants to play at the Garden. No one wants the added pressure. You can make money anywhere with sponsorships and shoe deals, and you still have a better chance of winning anywhere else. Now, with the little time that I have left in my trip today, I already talked to you about it. We got Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving bringing DeAndre Jordan with them to play here in Brooklyn. Now, I'm not jumping ship. I'm still a Knicks fan. I'm not going to be a Brooklyn Nets fan. But good for them. Good for Nets. Good for the Nets fans. They did what the Knicks couldn't. Good for them. You get a lot of other guys getting a lot of insane deals. You get Kristaps Porzingis signing this crazy extension. 5 years. Now I'm trying to get run off the road by a truck. That's what I wanted this morning. This is a special morning I'm having here on the way home. Hope you guys are enjoying this. 5 years, $158 million for Kristaps Porzingis. A fantastic extension for the guy. Same Supermax extension that Karl Anthony Towns got not too long ago with the Timberwolves. And He hasn't even played a minute with the Mavs, so good for him. You have Malcolm Brogdon. Sign and trade going from the Bucks to the Pacers, getting 4 years, $85 million, getting a ridiculous amount of money. Getting Damian Lillard, getting a crazy extension with the Trailblazers. All sorts of money moving around. Right? Just a lot of deals, so many moves, so little time. Al Horford moving on to the Sixers. We knew last week he was getting a deal around 4 years, $100 million. Turned out to be 4 years, $109 million with the 76ers. You get Tobias Harris sticking around. He was traded for, went to the 76ers last year. He's going to stay there as well. So that's turning into a really nice team. You get Embiid, Simmons, Harris, and Horford. And they're still trying to figure out a sign and trade to get Jimmy Butler out of town. He wants out. He wants to go to the Heat. I'm still not sure why Jimmy Butler wants to go to the Heat, but he wants to work a sign and trade there. Now, another situation with the Knicks having just enough money left to be one of the teams that can work a sign and trade in here, because Goran Dragic's $18 million a year has to go to make a sign and trade to Miami work. The Knicks need to get involved and help his teams out, but also gain assets. Fill some salary cap for a year. That's what they should be doing. Here comes the sun glare. My apologies as always. This is what happens about halfway home. But that's another move that the Knicks should get involved in, and they should have gotten involved in a very similar idea with the Warriors. The Warriors are trading Andre Iguodala to the Grizzlies to make room for the most surprising move of day one of free agency is D'Angelo Russell ending up with the Warriors. It's a big, crazy sign and trade move as well. And that's another move that the Knicks should have gotten involved in with Andre Iguodala, but of course they didn't. They'd much rather spend their time, money, energy, resources on Taj freaking Gibson. Again, you try to figure it out, because I can't. Moves everywhere. So the Warriors, it's a really smart move. Bring in D'Angelo Russell, have him replace Klay Thompson until he's healthy, and then when you bring Klay Thompson back, that's a really good team. Steph, Klay, Draymond, and add D'Angelo Russell. He's no Kevin Durant, don't get me wrong. Oh man, you can hear that horn probably in the background. This has been a crazy day on the road. I hope you and myself and everyone gets home safely today. It seems like nobody knows how to drive. Maybe they're all Knicks fans losing their freaking minds like I am, but at least I'm getting myself home safe, hopefully. Moves everywhere. Nikola Vucevic staying in Orlando. Terrence Ross getting a ridiculous amount of money in Orlando. It's just too many moves, not enough time. The NBA has gone berserk, but we're still waiting on where Kawhi Leonard is going to go. Rumblings, rumors, all these things are telling us that he's going to go join the Lakers, which is insane, but probably going to happen. So you get this crazy big three there. You get these four really solid players with the Sixers. You get the four nice players in Golden State. These are the teams I think you're looking at. Kawhi somehow stays in Toronto. All right, well, they'll compete with Philly, maybe Boston, because Kemba Walker has left Charlotte, and he's going to the Boston Celtics. Terry Rozier, point guard from the Celtics, now going to the Hornets. Hornets are no good, but moves going everywhere. It's hard to keep track of where everybody's going. It's madness. We try to keep keep it in order here. We try to figure out what's going on. Players, movement, insane money flying around. We know that because of the TV deals, the TV money. The NBA is making insane amounts of cash. And it's just all getting shelled out to the players. So it's hard to keep track of where everybody's going, but we're trying to keep it in order for you. Of course, I'm your host, Dave Ettinger, right here on the Dave Talk Sports podcast. Again, this is episode number 6. You'll catch me every single morning as I try to get myself home safely from CBS Sports Radio Network, where I work overnight. And you guys join me on my commute home. Hopefully you don't mind the sun glare too much when I get about halfway home. So, these are the moves. These are the big names. These are the things that are happening. Question is, biggest domino left to fall, Kawhi Leonard. Is he going to be a Laker? Is he going to join LeBron? Is he going to join Anthony Davis? Only time will tell. Apparently, again, not meeting with the Lakers and Clippers until either today or tomorrow. Then he's going to give the Raptors the last word, and then he's going to make a decision. I said this before, I'll say it again. He seems like a different kind of cat where he's just going to do what he wants to do. But ultimately, I think he goes to the Lakers because he sees that that's really the place where they can compete with the Golden State Warriors, and it would become a two-team race in the West, and it would probably look like 76ers and maybe the Celtics competing in the East if that's the move that happens. We shall see. NBA free agency, day one in the books. I'm losing my mind as a freaking Knicks fan. I've said freaking way too many times on this podcast. But again, I'm Dave Ettinger, your host of CBS Sports Radio Network. Hope you enjoyed Monday's edition, episode 6 of the Dave Talk Sports podcast. Until tomorrow, I'm disgusted. See you.